this chart is very interesting because we are in the full moon in Scorpio. So this moon right now is opposite to the sun, and the Earth is in the middle, right? So the moon, we can see the moon completely round and bright because of this specific aspect. So as you can see, there is like one aspect that is very strong. You can see these lines. This time I try to show the aspect that are very important. You see this big triangle here
Yeah.
below. These are three different trines, and they create like something called the grand trine. A grand trine between the moon, Mars, and Jupiter.
Yeah.
Now, this is like a very special time. And as I said last time in the last video, we have a very strong connection. The aspects for this month are very specific. Yeah. Also, we have a T square. A T square is made by the Saturn. Like you see these squares.
Mm.
Yeah, and the opposition between like this group of planets
Yeah.
here, the Sun, Uranus, Venus, and Mercury are opposite to the Moon,
Yeah.
obviously, and they're also creating a square with Saturn, right? So
And Jupiter,
Saturn
no?
with Saturn.
Mm.
Jupiter is in trine, the blue line here,
Ah, yeah.
with Moon and Mars. So, and we can say that these specific things, we have a trine, a grand trine, is a positive aspect in which the air of Jupiter, Jupiter being in air in Aquarius, it's connected with two planets in water,
Mm.
Scorpio and Cancer. So with this Cancer and Mars, people under the sign of Cancer are those that are receiving more this energy than other people. And this is an energy of active projects.
Mm.
Probably only Cancerians, this period of time, they can actually go into action. For the rest of us, yeah, this specific time is a time of reflection in which like things are happening for us in a way that they can provide a huge understanding of changes, our own change, the change on a humanitarian level. Like we can actually have an insight from the planets
Mm.
about our future. It will last a couple of days, 2, 3 days, in which like we have this huge opening. We can perceive signs from outside, and our mind it will be set to receive this information from the moon. Yeah, and there's an aspect in which like all our resources, all our talents are on display.
Mm-hmm.
It will become very clear to us what we should do in in our next 10 years time, for instance. So it's a very special time. Yeah. So we can really meditate on it, like having like this kind of open mind, like go for a walk, like the walkabout kind of thing, thinking with an open mind about our life and meditate on it, like take things a little bit slower and deeper,
Mm.
just to allow ourselves to get this connection, which is a spiritual connection, right? And maybe writing some notes, maybe just allow ourselves to go into these things.
Mm.
We see that these square are not very good. Like trine are good positive elements. Square in general are obstacles. So
Yeah.
we see this obstacle like Jupiter, between Saturn and the Moon, but this will last much.
Yeah.
And but we have this longer one with Uranus. We always talk about the Saturn-Uranus square, and the Sun, and Venus, and Mercury. So all this group of planets are squared with Saturn, so they are not completely in agreement,
Yeah.
right? And this means like again the past and the future, but on this time Also, because of Taurus, our resources, our work, the ability, like work, because Taurus is the sign of the food, of the providing, of
Mm.
money. So work in general, and our resources to make a living, to use our resources in order to gain something, you know,
Mm.
from what we are able to transform. So having Uranus there is telling us like, what do we need to do in the future
Mm.
for us in terms of work? It's a window in the future in this new age of Aquarius that
Yeah.
is telling us like what's going to happen like in the next few years.
Yeah.
So the signs that are coming to us are really an indicator of the change that we need to make in our own life. And this change is coming anyway. We cannot really
Mm.
avoid it. So did we deal well with the past or not yet? I mean, this is the time in which we should really make peace with our own past. So
Yeah, from the standpoint of the Enneagram, we are now in number 2, which is the helper. So we are in a society of helping each other a lot. And the next step we have to move in is the 4, which is more individualist. So we have to go inside and really look what we want to do and how our creative flow is will move outwards and what we want to create. But it has to start with each individual, not as a collective. I think this has to do with the age of Aquarius too, right? That we are a group of individualists, and each one has a connection to source or to the earth too, and his inner source, inner heart, and creates creativity from his personal inner well.
how does the Enneagram can help like the single person to move on? How do we approach this transformation?
Yeah. I mean, to withdraw our attention for other people and take our power back. John Lennon said one time, the bigger you become, the smaller the world becomes. So, and Jesus said, this is forgiveness. To take the energy we have to put in, we have projected into the past or other people, in order to bring them back, we have to forgive these people or the past. And then the energy comes back to us. And this increases our awareness, our self-awareness, and we become stronger and we know more what to do. And sometimes we have to cross the lines of other people, or we have to just leave them because we have to keep going our pathway without regard what other people want us to do. So this is the age of freedom, of liberation, and we have to leave old structures behind. We have to disappoint expectations and grow more into the depths of our own being in order to remember our cosmic identity together within the web of creation. Who am I, right? Because we are infinite beings, we are not limited, but we joining in one big spirit, and this is very real in each of us. But each one has a different outcome, a different voice, a different kind of creativity to bring to the world. But for this, we have to come back into our own depths and not looking for approval of other people.
This is very interesting and beautiful. And you agree about this paradox, right? That there is this paradox of we really do best for humanity the moment in which like we start to work from within.
Yes.
So in order to be humanitarian, we need to focus on our own self. There
Yeah.
is no way through. It's not possible to think about others and look about others. No, this is the time to reflect on yourself, right? And the Enneagram, it helps us into
Yeah.
this stage, into allow ourselves to go deeper into our own self. Right?
Yeah, so this is the work we offer. So this is the week we have to listen to the inner voice and to make plans or make decisions or be open for decisions in order to receive maybe already a made decision. Your way has to go this way when you want to be happy, when you want to fulfill your life. Yeah. And we can help in our counseling. We still have time slots available And we invite you too to join us here in this discovery of the right path for each one of us.
Yeah.